Hi guys, I really hope that I'm not. This is not a normal day stream. So we were having some problems with our my way of sending the links to you and you receiving those links. So everything has been a very problematic way in receiving the simplest things. So you are supposed to receive links to the live webinar very easily, but I am right now I'm doing. So let me address the unpleasant thing that's going on right now. So there are no email confirmations that after you purchase, and also I'm busy seeing all of you in the same email. It's not the ideal thing to do, and some of you are also not receiving the emails. So the long-term solution is to create an LMS system, learning management system, where every one of you will have a separate account and everything will have proper email automation. So if a new learner comes and buys the bootcamp, so he will get access to it immediately and everything is automated. But right now it's not. I personally email everyone saying that this is how you should do it and this is how you should check that. So I just have one simple doubt. Just let me check my email. Let me just check if I have sent the right email to the bootcamp or not. Okay. It has to be the day 3. Okay. I have sent the right. I have sent the right link. So it's fine. I think we are good. We are good. We're good. We're good. Let me just close this. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I have sent the right link because it shouldn't happen like that. So this is a Redistal stream where I will be building a proper, not a proper will take a lot of time, and you will be able to see how we are building an LMS system so that you or any other person who is going to access LearnWP has paid to access content will not have any problem with that. So today we are going to create a temporary solution where users can log into their account. For that, we need to have login module. Registration module will not be there because we will not open registrations for everyone. And again, what we will do is we will create a page with where we will have the live links for the website. For the time being, the website has caching enabled in it, so we will disable the cache. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear me speaking? So I did not check that properly. So please let me know if my voice is audible or not. So let me get started without any further ado. We do not have that much time. So this is a bonus. This is like a bonus thing which I'm doing because I want to solve the problem that we're having right now. So definitely we need one login thing. Before that, let me create another user. I'm just checking. So you need to be joined as a user. So I have 2 people right now. I have to access a new user. Okay, let me just change the username. Okay, let's get started. Let's see, like maybe I will take this video down later. Let's go ahead and so we are creating a user called random user, and this is my other email ID which I'm trying to get. And his website is my website, ch.com. we don't want to, there are several other things. Let's keep it simple. Let's just call him subscriber. Let's add this new user. Okay, so the email address was not right. Again, I want to save this password somewhere. Let me just save this password. Okay, I have saved the password. Now everything is done. Let's just add this. Oh, we're good. Now let's create a page. What we're doing is let me go and hide the banners. Where do we have the banners? So we are creating a page which is only accessible by subscriber and admin. If he is not logged in, we won't see it. Bootcamp live links. Click on publish. One other thing, if you are using any SEO page, like it will get index, like it will have no index. We can read what it says. Index means they will be able to index this page. No index means prevents page from being indexed and displayed in search engine. That's what we want, because this is a bootcamp link. We don't want everyone seeing this. No image index, yes. No archive and no snippet index. So that's if you are using an SEO plugin. Okay, let's did not. Now we are editing the page live. What will we do? So in this plugin, we are going to use something called Conditional Api, which is given by whom? Which is given by Auxin itself. Now in this, let's add a section. And in section, let's add a heading. So we have a heading. Let's just name this. So just let me know if it hits 7 p.m. Then we will stop and we will continue with the normal SEO stuff. Just let me know if it hits 7. Right now we have, what do we have here? So bootcamp links. So this is the section that we have. This is, let's say this section is only visible to users. Let me add a banner which says bonus live stream. Bootcamp links, and let's add another thing inside. Let's just first thing, let's make this very simple. We just want to have a div which will have links. Let's say it will have some heading. Again, we already have h1 here. This you can see this is h1. Now let's just make this h2, and this thing says the day. It will say the day, and the other thing will have the link to it. So the other thing is text link. Now we have to stack them beside each other and let's center them. So this is the easiest way to do it. So we have the bootcamp links and we have this. What we have to do is we have to create a condition. So to add conditions, you have to click on this icon here. So you can set conditions here. Then you can add conditions. So in conditions, you have several other things like, is the user logged in, user name or user role, anything can be it. So let's check user role. It has to be subscriber, or the user role can also be, or the user role can also be admin. So by default, the conditions here are and. We want that to be are. So let's just save this. We have saved this, and let's copy this link and let's open it on the incognito where I think I see. You can see that you are not able to One second. What I have to do is I have to go to caching. First thing, clear the cache. And where is it? Dashboard. What we have to do is we have to disable browser, not the browser caching, but we have to one second. This is browser caching, settings, automatic, admin console. One second. Okay, what did you say? Bro, you have selected the contributor, not the selector. What do you mean by that? I didn't understand. Please elaborate. Maybe then I will be able to understand what you're saying. I'm trying to disable cache, clear cache. Like there is an option which says, okay. Page caching is currently active. We have to disable it. Okay, maybe let's just make some quick change here and see if that change is reflected on the front end. If it is, then there is no caching. Okay, it's working now. It's working now. So the condition is working now. If you can see, if this user who is not logged in, like incognito, has no link, even you can try it. Like if you open this link which I posted in the comments, you will see no content, or you can see no information there. But if I open this on my page, or if I just take this, go here, one second. I have to check the user's details once. So this is the random user. I have to view it. What's happening? So this is the email ID. I'm trying to log into from another window which you cannot see. Okay. You can see that I have logged in now. I have logged in from another browser, and if I just copy these links, and I'm logged in as random user, if you can see, and if I just paste the links, even he is not able to see it. Why is that happening? Maybe I'm still having the problem with caching. Let's just go. Let's clear cache. It will clear. Let's reload this. And now we don't have. So let's go to the page back. And let's see what conditions do we have here. So he has to be, user role has to be either a contributor or it can be administrator. Okay, this is what you're saying then. Okay, got it. So he has to be a subscriber. Got it. Yes, you are right. If we just reload this, we can see the content. So any subscriber which you will be, got it. So every, like this user is a subscriber. He cannot see it, but I think we can see it from here. So random user is a subscriber. I think you are right, Sujana. So What we will do is we will just get the links for day one. Where is the day one? We need the day one links. So okay, this is the day one link. This is what we need. So let's paste this here. Now what we will do is we will always copy this stuff and let's rename this day and link. That's it. Now let's duplicate that. Now what we have to do is just rename that and replace the. Now we have the day to link. Let me just copy it. Okay, let me just get it. We got the link. Now let's paste this. We got everything. Now if we go back to this person and reload this, now you can see the day one and day two links are added. Now let's just add some padding to this. Let's add some padding, not padding but margin. That looks fine. Let's copy the style and let's paste it. Let's add some personal touch here. So we have bootcamp link. Let's call it hi, and let's add username here. In this span, let's add the data as other current user display name. That's it. Let me tell you what I have done is this content should only be visible to the people who are logged in and not to everyone who are logged in, but people who are admins, or let me tell you again, people who are admins or subscribers. So every new person who joins the website will be a subscriber. So he will be able to see it and admins can see it. Except them, no one else can see this content. So let me tell you how the condition goes. So to do that, we have to select the right column or the right section. Now what we have done is we go to set conditions, or we can delete the conditions. Let's go to set conditions. Here you can see there are several options. Now we care about which condition, like whether the user, what is the user role. So we want to show the content only for user roles. So you can either choose a username, user role, or what can he do, or whether he is logged in. Based on these are all the conditions. Right now we only care about what is the user role. First thing, he can be a subscriber. Yes, he has to be a subscriber, or he can also be admin. So that's what we did. There is other important thing, which is what you want the condition to be. Like here you can see there are two conditions. We want any one of them to be true. If any one of that is true, only then he will be able to see the content. So the condition is or. Either he has to be a subscriber or he has to be an administrator. So that's it. Let me say this. And if we go here and see the content, we can see the content. So what happening here is whatever the user name is, that's what we are going to get from here. So let's say we have about 13 or 14 users who have signed up, like 16 to 17 users who have signed up for our bootcamp. So we will enter their data. Maybe like password can be automatically generated. So we will enter their data, and what they will see is they will see a customized message saying his username. So this is his username. What we have did here is in this text we added show the username. So that's what we are doing. So if we see this on our front end, we can see, hi Jashwant, these are the bootcamp links. Let's add that text. So for time being, it was the easiest thing. What we have left is, maybe let's wrap. Okay, I think this is good. Like it is quick way. I just have to come each day and just add the link here. Or I can even automate that by using custom post types and not edit the template, but use the ACF data, but this is like overkill. You can just simply do it with the page. Let's just polish this a little bit. So these are the global colors. So that's a little bit fine. So everything is broken here. So just decrease the font. And how much is it? It is 26. H1 is 26. Let's make this 22. Let's make this 22. Things are looking better. Now what we have to create is we have to create a login page. Okay, this is done. Okay, let's go and let's add. Okay, I got an idea. I have to add one more plugin here. Let's see if we can add a plugin here. I'm adding a plugin. The plugin is uploading one. We'll be uploading a plugin which is made by Chinmay Paul. Plugins we are looking for Oxy Ultimate Woo. So will it work without the WooCommerce module? Let's see. That's what I don't want it to behave like. I think he made those changes. It's fine. Just let's get started with the installing plugin. Okay, I'm going away because I'm just afraid I might show you some information that I should not show you. Okay, just give me some time. I have to find that settings. Come on. Now let's go to settings. Okay, where are we? I'm trying to install the Oxy Woo plugin by Chinmay Paul. This is my first time doing that, so it is taking a little bit of time. Okay. I will save this and try to reload this. Maybe they will automatically come in. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. Oxy Ultimate. No. It's not good. So maybe tomorrow what we will do is we will make this whenever someone logs in, we will redirect them to this page, and only they, like people who are subscribers, can see this page. Let's go back. I was trying to come on. It shouldn't be this hard. But let's refresh this. Okay, I think that's the problem. If we don't have Woo, then it's not working. Okay, let's just delete this one. Let's delete this. So there is one plugin that I normally use when for login and redirections. Let me just get that link. Okay, I'm going to get this plugin right now. Let's add it. So maybe after some days, I will just get rid of this plugin and install ChinMyPaul's plugin. After getting the WooCommerce and everything installed, we will get that. And to do that, I think we should move to AWS to keep up with the website loads and stuff. So we still have 10 minutes left. If you have any questions, just ask them right now. We just activated the plugin. We're just looking for a login module and we have to redirect the users to that place. So if we get a login module or this, what do we call it? If you get just the shortcut for we just need a short code for the login module, and we need to be able to redirect whoever has logged in to that link. Whoever has logged in, then we just need to take them from somewhere else. Manual user log option lets you choose what happens after registration. We don't want any registrations. To prevent that, let's go to all users. Let's go to settings and let's go to settings. There has to be an option called users. General. Okay, let's just forget about it. Okay, go away. Anything is fine. We don't need this. Registration URL, prevent core login. No. So this is doing a lot of stuff. I will get rid of this after that. User login option. This option lets you choose login option after user registration. Would go away. Everyone except the admin. No one should have access. And I will hide and install my section. So this is what I don't want. This is like bigger than what it needs to be. So let's go to add new page, add new login. We want it to be login. It has to be username and user password. That will be fine. So this is a shortcode that we want. Just copy the shortcode and you can see the form settings. Form setting is manual login after registration. Let's get rid of this. Redirection URL. The successful registration. Field options. Subscriber lore, redirect URL. Go to pages and see a page that we just recently created. Which page did we just recently create? Registrations are closed. We just created bootcamp live links, right? Now let's copy this link, paste this here. Button submit class. Okay, let's update this form. We know, so this is the link. Let's go to pages and let's add new page. Let's call it custom login. So that is like a little bit of custom login. Publish. And what we don't want, let's just do it a little bit afterwards. We are nearly like 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I will just end this and continue from yesterday's session. So don't mind if the ending is very abrupt when I say. What do we need to add a shortcode. You never see in a shortcode me using a shortcode, right? So this is how it will look. Do you want me to style it a little bit? So styling is pretty obvious. Every time what we do is like let's wrap this inside a div. can do like this. So it is inside a div. Now the section can have a different background like global thing, and the div we can have clear white background for div. So what it will create is some kind of differentiation. And again, all time as always we use border radius to add some border, and box shadow for a shadow effect. Now this looks good. Let's just take the custom login page. Take the custom login page and let's go to the other Google account that I have. Let me log out from here. Let me log out from here. What happened? So when I just opened it, this is what I'm able to see. Only administrators can add new users. That's true, but why am I seeing this? This, okay, that was a registration form. So there we did like really big mistake. This is not the shortcode for, this is a shortcode for registrations. Incredible. We don't need, we need login, not registrations. Login options, these are the login options. This is the template. Okay, so this is where we have to use a little bit of Zen, which I did not use. So let me get the plugin. So this is the plugin that we have installed. If we just go there and let's get to their original documentation, which will be on their website. First, let's go to the WordPress URL. That this is the default user URL, and you can see the demos here. So let's say we want to see the login. So this is how the login will look. It is designed by okay. Default, remember me, Google Capture, and other stuff. So this is by WP Everest. So what we will do is WP Everest login shortcode. This is a plugin that we have. Come on, roll. It's not loading. Why? Everyone has to give up now. The plugin is user registration. That's what we want. It's not working. Their website is not opening. Like, what can I do now? I need to get the login shortcode to display the login, but it's not working. Okay, let me try something else, which I did not want to try. Let's just Bootcamp live links, user registration, custom login. Okay. So instead of using this login, what we can do is we can just use the login that Oxygen ships out of the box, and it does not like really look good. So what we will do, we will just add some padding to the login module. Margin, not margin, but some padding will do. Okay. We lost everything here. So again, let's add some border radius. Let's add so this is the, now if we just reload this, only admin can you add other users, but this is registration. This is not a registration. Okay, let's just. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going for trying flex, and let's enter this. Now we have that stuff. So the thing is, I added box shadow to both the elements, which is not needed. What did I do? Let me just undo it. Let it be. Like username, this is the login module. Only admins can add new users. Okay, I will I will work on this tomorrow. Okay. Let's get rid of this. It's seven. Thank you for reminding me that it's 7. Now let's get back to it. So the stream starts now. The stream actually starts now. Like till now, we were just tinkering with some other stuff. We were trying to build a login system and some links where only people who have access or who have accounts can see. So let's see why we are doing that. This is a day 3 and welcome back again. So this is day 1 second. Just let me go and just make sure to find the thing. Thanks a lot for sticking, everyone. Thanks a lot. Hi, Santosh. Hi. Thanks a lot for coming. Okay, today we will continue from where we have left yesterday. So don't worry if you haven't watched the entire stream before this, it does not matter. Only thing that matters is what we'll cover right now. Earlier, I was trying to build a temporary LMS system, not an LMS system where users can just log in and see some URLs that they will need to access the previous streams or streams that will start in the next, like later, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So that's what we were trying to do. I just wanted to be honest with everyone, like the solution that we have right now, like there is no people who bought the courses, they were not receiving any email confirmation because nothing of this entire learning process is automated. So I manually check all the payments that I'm receiving each day. That's the reason why I'm missing some of them, and they are personally messaging me. And people who have personally messaged me and asked me for the links, thanks a lot. It made a world of difference to send you the links. And only after knowing that there were people paying even after the bootcamp started, only then I started checking my PayPal and asking for code and to check for newer payments. So thanks a lot if you dropped a personal message, and thanks a lot even if you bought the course in the first place. Other issue was like I have to BCC you each day to send you a link for the session, which is again, it has to be automated, but it is not. It is again, it is like a very problematic thing, and I did not want that to happen. What is the long-term solution for this? Okay, my mouse just gave up in the middle of session. Okay, it's working now. The long-term solution is an LMS system, which stands for Learning Management System, where you will have a separate account and people who have separate accounts will be able to log into the website, and people who can log into the website can access things, and they can continue learning or stop learning, and you can see other things following that. And if we have a proper LMS, it should definitely have an email automation system. So an email automation system will let you receive emails with just me typing once, and some email delivery system will be taking care of it. I'm testing and learning how to get Amazon SES approval. I'm not approved from Amazon SES. I will check again today. So I have to get Amazon SES. So people who don't know what Amazon SES is, so the servers that we have are not optimized for mail delivering. So our websites or our servers are optimized for hosting our websites. There are different servers which are optimized to send mails with high deliverability. So when you send emails from your server and some of them goes to spam, the problem is the deliverability goes down, and it's not an ideal thing. With that, more emails that you send will go to spam, and more emails going to spam will decrease the deliverability more, and then again more emails go to spam. That's like a dominoes effect. Something happens wrong and something keeps on happening wrong. So if you let some other person or some other services take care of email delivering for you, so they are experts in doing that, so they're taking care of it for you, helps you like really a lot. So these are the two things that we will be working on. By before February, early February or late February, we will have a complete LMS system where all these things, you can see all of these things working. So the temporary solution would be to create a page where you will have access to all the links that have happened before and all the links that will come after that. So that is what we were trying to do before this session at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time started. I was trying to create a page which was only accessible by people who are logged in and who are subscribers or admins like me. So only those people can see the content in that page. So that is a temporary solution. And things that I have to do after this temporary solution is to create accounts for all the people who have registered already and who have paid and joined the course. So I have to create accounts for all of them. I will send an email. So there will be an email acknowledgement to people who have signed up and enrolled for the course, and they will be able to log into their accounts. Again, I wanted to stress on this point a couple of days back, but I think I touched on the topic, but I did not go deeper into that. So this won't be a one-time transaction. You paid for the course and you watched the bootcamp, you asked a couple of questions, you had something clarified and some things were amiss. This is not how this entire bootcamp or this entire experience of learning with Learn WP will be. So this is going to be a community where we will learn from each other and learn together. So this is me starting things, and definitely I'm expecting you to join the community and be more, like if you want to be active, you can always be active. So that's that. What do I say when the learning process will not stop? So when I say the learning process will not stop, I mean that this entire bootcamp intention is to give whatever the knowledge that I have whatever the knowledge that I have in Oxygen, and give it to you. So that is not complete entire Oxygen experience, or that is not entire complete CSS or HTML. So those are the things that I know and I have given it to you. I think I am educated enough to give something to you. That's why I'm doing this. There are other things that I have touched upon, but I'm not very confident about them. For instance, I have learned CSS Grid, but I'm not educated. I'm not confident about how educated I am about CSS Grid. That's why I'm not doing it. That's why I'm not including it in this entire bootcamp. But after this entire bootcamp is done, and after I take enough time to learn CSS Grid, there will be a follow-up video which will be live, and after that you will see an edited form video, which will not be short form, which will not be long form, and it will not have any hiccups in between. So all of them will be edited out, and you will be able to access them through your LMS system. So whenever the LMS system is ready, and your account will automatically get all the data, all the new content that we are adding to it. So not just CS, not just something which is exclusive to Oxygen, but also something in WordPress ecosystem as well. I personally like Blocksy a lot. Maybe I will be covering more about Blocksy, and there will be some hands-on experience with Oxygen plugins itself. So there are some great Oxygen plugins. The one plugin that I install on each and every Oxygen installation is Hydrogen Pack. So I will give you a hands-on experience on how I personally use Hydrogen Pack, and there are definitely great plugins coming up now. Oxy Monster is looking very promising. Oxy Ultimate, like Dude Never Sleeps, like Chinmay Never Sleeps. So all that kind of stuff, I will personally do a hands-on experience. And there's very many promising things coming on. I don't want to over-promise and under-deliver. So whatever the projects that are still under wraps, I will not announce them now. But these are the things that I'm very sure that I will work on in like next 2 to 3 months. You will see some content, and these $10 that you have spent on this course will be the best $10 that you have ever spent. That's what I can guarantee you. Again, let's go forward. So I just said, like, we will do bootcamp, like live streams on things that I am doing right now. So to add stuff, to add one thing to that will be, I will build a live LMS system. Sorry, I will build an LMS system live. You can see them. It will be on my personal YouTube channel. So you will be able to see how I go about building stuff and how we are actually building Learn WP LMS system. So it will be time taking. It will be very exhausting at times, but it is what actually happens when I am personally building a website. You will see which plugins I am using and which plugins I'm not using. You will also hear from me what are the reasons that I'm using some specific plugins and what are the reasons that I'm not using others. If you chip into the bootcamp, we can have a discussion and you can see why we are doing stuff in the way that I'm doing and not the other way. And if you chip in, you can also give me advice on what are the things that I can do better or what things that I'm doing bad. So that's all there. Again, to be part of the community, you have to join our Facebook group. It is heavily moderated. Like, even if there were a couple of spam posts, but I just let them be, because you may never know, like, if that's an authentic post or it's just that profile which does it on every other group. So we definitely give every user a chance to post something, even though it looks like spam. We just let it be for 4 to 6 hours, and after that we delete it. So there is no spam post which has sitting in the group for more than a day. So we take actions immediately, and we are very strict about who joins our WordPress group. So if you haven't already joined, so this is the Facebook group that I highly recommend you to join. I will just post the link here for the group, and make sure after you're done learning here, you will join there. I posted right here in the Facebook chat. So if you haven't joined the group yet, so please do join. It's going to be a lot more engaging than it is right now. Okay, I think it's time that we get started with the bootcamp. So this is the group. This is the link that you have to join. Facebook.com/groups/WordPressCG. Okay, there you go. So let's get started. It's already, I have taken enough time, maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes, just 15 minutes. It's fine then. No, yesterday I abruptly ended the session when we were talking about child combinator. I have worked on it, really worked on it. So Santosh, you have been here each day. Thanks a lot for doing that. It really means a lot. It just boosts my confidence that that people like hearing to me, people like how I teach and stuff. Thanks a lot for chipping in each day. And to everyone who is watching this after the session ends, thanks a lot for you too. It really means a lot. Okay, let that aside. let me show you something very interesting. So yesterday, if you there are several CSS combinators that we are going to cover today. Let me go away and you can see everything in the full screen. So yesterday we have seen this. So this is like anytime that you see a CSS style, first thing you have to understand is whatever the element we come. So the element we have here, which is the first element which says the first element, it okay, it's going away. So this element, which is these elements which are inside this element, or let's say these selectors, this is a selector because it helps us select all the div components inside it. And this CSS class is also a selector because it helps us select all the CSS classes which are inside the div. So the first element CSS classes which are inside the div or which are inside the div, they are going to select only the immediate child of the parent element. So let me show what it means in when we talk like in code. Let me just close all these unnecessary tabs. Let's go back to VS Code. Here you can see, where are we? Okay, here you can see that we are using this. This is called child combinator. So when you are using this symbol, it is less than symbol, and this is one selector and this is another selector. What it does is, and I'm also using another one which is very easy to understand. Every descendant selector which is inside this div will have a color of blue, and every child combinator which is an immediate children of div unique will have a color of red. That's what it's saying, but let's see that in action. So every div which has an ID of unique, so this is it. So div has an ID of unique. Inside that, I added a p just to create a heading, and inside that you can see that there is one div with a CSS class which says child combinator. So that is what we are looking at. It is a child combinator. So a div with child combinator, but it is having a text of heading inside div dot child combinator. So this has to be red, but this shouldn't be red, even though it has the same child, like the same CSS selector. It should not be red because it has to be only the immediate child. Okay, let's just look at it on the front. Okay, what we will do is, it's the same thing, but it says everything that is inside this. Let's look at what's happening. So every not so unique ID and every element with a class of descendant selector has to be red. So these two has to be red and this one has to be blue, but this shouldn't be blue. If that happens, then that means we have understood everything properly. Let's just view it on the front page. Okay, where did I mess it up? So this shouldn't be here. Let's just go here and you can see what's happening here. So this heading, even though it is inside the div, even though this is inside the div, it has a different color. It isn't black, but this is red. It has a different color, but here you can see, even though everything is the same, this is literally the same element as this. So there is one div, there is class, there is another div which closes, and the entire structure is the same. But we see that the styles are applied differently just because we have a different selector combinator. This says this is a child combinator which applies only to, you can see this, which is immediate child of the parent element, but not every child will get the same CSS classes. So that's when we use the child combinator. Okay, hope this is clear. Let me know if it was clear or not. If it is clear, we will go to the next one. These are like I created a file just for the sake of this. One will be red. You can see the first one will be red, but the second one will not have any styles. It will use the default styles. But here you can see both of them have the same colors, because it means every descendant selector which is inside a div which is not so unique, it will be having blue color. Got it? You can easily compare even though every element that is here is the same as this, things will be different because we are using child combinator. That's it. So we understood what child combinator means. Let's go ahead and see general sibling selector. So even like we use when the relation is not, so we use this when the relationship is not parent and child, but they are of siblings. So siblings are under same parent, so they will be under same div or section or span, but they will be siblings. So there are elements which are going to be beside each other. So here you can see in the VS Code thing we wrote, you can see H1. So this P and this div are siblings. Or maybe let's get rid of this. Let's create a new file which is called sibling selector HTML. Create HTML file in VS Code. It's very easy. Let's name this sibling selector. Now what we will do is we will write, let's just open a H style tag and just let's close it just for the sake. It's easy later. So that's we just made a CSS empty style thing, internal style. Now let's create some elements. Let's call it heading 1, H1, main heading, a normal para. That's what we want. Now we will add some more things, like we can have another P. Let's add H1, another H1, yes, another H1. Second main heading. It has to be, okay, this is also H1, 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 H1. Okay, we have added enough, I think. So this means like, let's wrap all these things in a div. Wrap div. So we wrap all these elements inside div. You can see that what's happening here. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you, like this. Can you see it properly? Maybe I should increase the font size a little bit. So you know how this works, right? We create a document, HTML document. Now we are inside the body tag. So we have a div and there is one P and there are so many other headings. What if you want, like, let's add one more heading here. Let's add one more div here and let's add a H1. It's called outside the div. Now what I want to do is I want to add, let's just go to the sibling selector and see this. When you use P tilde, I think it is P, let's say it's called approximate. P approximate span, we want that to be another color. Right now, let's see how this HTML file looks. This is how it will look. This is how it looks. Why is everything? Okay, I did not close this one. This is P, this is H1. This has to be normal h1, but it's not normal h1. Why it's not? It has to be normal para. Do I have any styles anywhere? No, but okay, I did not close this properly. Okay, you can see this. This is where the paragraph starts, and these are okay. Let's also break here, not break, but use a horizontal line just for the separation. So this entire thing is one div, and this one is outside. This one is another div. What I will do is I will use this styling, which is we have to use p tilde span and open it. Not p tilde. Whatever we want, p tilde h1. We want that to be color as red. So every h1 that comes after p has to be red, and everything has to exist in the same container, or like div is our container. Let's see what happens. Not you, buddy. So you can see what's happening. So all these h1 elements are coming after p, even though this h1 element is coming after p, as it is outside the div, it is not getting those styles. So this is how general sibling selector works. So it is generally you are targeting every sibling that comes after another sibling. So every span that comes after p will have color of blue. But here we are saying every heading that is coming after para, that is everything here, will have a color of red. That's what we're doing. That's what we did. Now let's go and write something else. So instead of h1, what if we just want to target the first element but not the rest of the elements? So what if you just want this element to have red color, but you don't want any other heading which is coming after this p to have that? So we are already, like, everything is sorted for us. Instead of tilde, okay, let me just see what this symbol is called. Okay, that is tilde. It's fine. I'm saying it right. Okay. So instead of tilde, if we use just plus symbol, that means the only span symbol, the only span tag or the selector which is coming after p or any other selector, that has to be blue. Now let's write our own thing. Instead of plus, just call, instead of tilde, let's add the plus symbol and let's save this. If we view that on the front end, you can see only the first one is selected. Isn't this interesting? So we can write so much whatever we want in this. Like, let's say you have a feature post. So we have a new person. Prabhukulan, thank you for joining live. Thank you. I'm very happy to see you here. Even though it is little late, you can always watch it from the beginning. But let's see. We are creating several things today. We just created one kind of we use conditional API by Auxin Builder. We used it. It's a very interesting session. We also covered several other CSS classes, CSS selectors, which are kind of advanced, like a little bit advanced. Let me tell you what we have covered till now. So we have covered child combinator, general sibling selector, and adjacent sibling selector. So everything is done. So you are a little bit late, but I think you can just follow up later. How is today's session? Just let me know in the comments. Drop your comment. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I will be waiting for your replies. And before that, as we are already here, let's go forward and let's see pseudo classes. So pseudo classes, there are four important, like these are not all pseudo classes, but these are four of the most used pseudo classes that are very common, that you will keep on using them every day. So let's go ahead and let's write some pseudo classes. What I will do, I will create another. Let me create another file here. Let me just see where I am. Okay, let's see all the file. Okay. false classes dot html. So that's what they are. They are not real, but they are false. Where it is, where it is, where it is, where it is, false, false, false. Okay, it's not created, but what happened? Okay, here we have false classes.html again. Let's create a new document. Let's call it false is another name for pseudo. So one thing that we have seen in our classes is these elements actually exist, right? You can see that these elements p and span, they exist in real world. Like p, you know what p is, and span is a html tag. You know both of them, they exist, right? Even here, when you're thinking about div is actual html tag, first element is an actual css class that you personally wrote. So all these elements are there, but what we are looking ahead, there are states. Like they don't exist actually, but there are some temporary states where when a user interacts with some specific thing, only then then it will work. Let me show you one such example. Did we use anything here? So if you look at this, when I there is a small difference in the colors of the button. When the button is here, it looks goldish, but when I hover over it, you can see the color changing. So based upon the user interaction, so the user interface here is the mouse, and when the mouse goes on top of this, it changes colors. So that there is a state change there. So what normally we do is we know that there are several states, but we are going to cover only four. The most commonly used is hover, which means when the mouse is on top of anything, but the user is not actually clicking on it. So when the mouse is hovered over it, you will get some data. So you can see there is a background change, and also the icon has changed. The plus, the same thing. The user, it's also the same thing. Go to the normal screen. Sorry. One second. So those are states. So normally we use, like, these are not really existing elements, but we just use those classes. Like these classes do not exist, but they exist virtually maybe. That's why they are called pseudo classes, which means false classes. You can target those, but they are not existing in real sense. There are states in between elements. So let me show you some of the most commonly used examples. First thing we will do is we will create a div as always. Let's go inside the div and let's call this box model. Okay, well, we have to write the box model CSS class later on. Let's just write it dot box model, not like this. Let's let it be there. Okay, I made one mistake. First thing we have to do, we have to wrap it in style. Then we can write box model, and then it will be fine. What we will do is we will just add a background color for that one. Let's call it maybe red or maybe yellow. So yellow looks fine. Whatever is in the box model, it has to have a color of black, because only then we can see things clearly. Now let's create a P element. Okay, I forgot what we were doing. We are focusing on hover active before and after, right? That's what we're doing. So box model normally has it normally has a black color, and let's also add some height and width to it. Let's also add, we are just defining one element, that's it. Nothing fancy happening here. It is, let's call it, this is inside the box model. Let's just see how it's looking on the front end. So this is how it looks on the front end. You can see that there is a box model here. What we will do is we will create another element, but we won't call it box model. We will call it dabba model. So dabba in our language is again box. Okay. You remember that we can use the same styling by using a comma, right? So that's what we are using. Whatever we learned, we are using it. So you can see that there are two things. This is inside box model. The other thing is inside dabba model. So that's what we have created. We have created two elements which look and they are designed the same way. But what will happen if I just use box model and I create a state called hover? Like there is always a state called hover, and inside that I change the background color to red. Not red. Red looks very bad. Let's call it blue. There are several blues. Let's call it. Okay, let's use this blue. And the only color which looks fine in that is white. So when you hover over it, you can see that this element changes color, but this element doesn't, because for this we have written a hover state. So this is the hover state, and that in that you are saying that it has to be black when the state is hover, right? It's so easy. Like that's what is happening. There is something called transition duration, 5 milliseconds. Maybe let's just make it 5 seconds. That's it. Can you see what's happening? So you can actually control how fast the transition happens. Now I just added so huge transition that it is taking so much time to change. Now it is a little bit faster. Even 1 second is too high. So let's just keep it 600 milliseconds. So that's there. So we added this, but now let's look what other things that we have here. So other CSS classes that we have at our disposal are, we have active. Let's write active and see what happens here. Have box model hover, and let's call, so box model, if it is active, it has to take the background color. Okay. Background color has to be blue. Okay, let's not make it blue, but let's make it green. Yes, I'm using the colors which we can easily distinguish. The color will be black. Again, the transition duration will be 600 ms, but let's also increase the width. Width was 200 pixels. Let's make it 400 pixels, and also let's make the height 400 pixels. See what will happen. Let's open our browser and let's go to this. Nothing changed. 1 second. One second. Where did I do a mistake? Let me just check. So it has to be active. Yes, it is active. Box. Okay, that's where we did a mistake. I did not type the L properly. Now I have done that. Now let's go back and see what happens. So hovering over is fine. It's still the same. But when we click on it, okay, what? How it should work? Box model is active. It has to be green. It has to go away. That's what I will do is I will get rid of this for 1 second. Save this and let's go back. You can see it's happening, right? Okay. I got it. What we are doing is like we were still hovering. That's why the styles were keeping. That's why the styles are forced to be that. So even when I click it, you can see it working. Why didn't it work before? Don't know. Everything is the same. I just copied and saved it again. If you click it, it will change, and if you hover over it, it's blue. And if you click on it, done. Thanks a lot for pointing the mistake out. It's working now. You can see these are the different states that you can use. I think I'm leaving it for your imagination in understanding the possibilities for all these two states, but there are two more that I haven't started on yet. So you can see, no. So there are two more states which are called before and after. So that we use, normally we use that for element like p tags. So you can see that this is one like what is this? So this p element has text which says this is inside box model. The other one says which is inside double model. Let's add something like text here which says are you sure? To do that we have to use the same thing, but we have to use after because that we want that text to be after that. And let's add a simple content. We have to put that on single or double string, double quotes. Content has to be whatever space are you sure space. You can see that, right? It comes after that, but as the div is very small, you can see when the div becomes large enough, it accommodates that there. Let's also change some colors so that you can see what we can do with it. Text transformation, capitalize, and let's change the color to purple. Let's change the color to purple. You can see that the text is purple, and that element is only added to that to every p which is there. To avoid that, what we can do is, so one is under box model, so let's just apply this to box model. To do that, we just have to div dot box model. So every p which is inside this parent will have a purple color, but this will not be there. So that's what we are trying to do. Let me save this. We can see it's gone. We are using what we have learned yesterday and today. So this is how you can use before, and in the same way you can also use after. So this is after, you can also use the same like before. So you can see now it is added before the text. So these are pseudo classes, like these are the ones I normally use a lot, and these are the ones I thought will be essential for our course. I think you got it, right? Got it, guys? Got it. So we covered all of these. Now we are good. We are good. No, we are in typography. Let me just check the language. Now we are in typography. Like there are like not okay. Okay, I need some more help here. Let me just get my good old friend. We are in essential CSS. Okay, okay. I think I messed some things up. That's why they're not like doing well here. Okay, let's. Where should we go? Where should we go, guys? Where are we? We're discussing about typography. Yes. So this is the font properties. Like I think before doing this, I think I should cover Google Fonts. So Google Fonts is the single most popular font library. It will also give you the CDN. Let me just close styles. Now this everything looks very simple. The thing that you won't like about how default HTML looks is how bad the default font is. So to get rid of, or you just want to have some good fonts, always go to fonts.google.com. Go there. Let's go to fonts.google.com, and I normally use overpass for every website. Not every website, but learnwp.conan.com. Our website learnwp is also in overpass. That's why we are using that. Now we have so many other elements here. So let's select, this looks good. Let's select 100. And also let's go to, this is so thick. So let's go, and also let's go with the normal one, which is a regular. Okay. Italic 300 is also very good. Let's go with regular 400. So these are the fonts and different font weights that we selected. Now let's do, like there are different ways to add it. You can either import them, or you can just use that link. Let me tell you how you can use that. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I got a call. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. Let me just get back to this stuff. Okay, we are so deep. Okay, we are here, right? We are here. What was I doing before this? Okay, we are getting some fonts from Google Fonts. So you just use the link we discussed about this to when you are trying to add some style sheets, or when we're trying to add other stuff from the places. We link them to our website. We have to do that in head. Let's add that link. We have added that link. So if we want to style a particular element, like here we want to type style P, and also let's style H1. I think we just have H1 here. We don't have any H1 there. So let's create a H1. Like, what is the big fuss? Let's create an H1. Let's call it, this is bad. Let's create another H1 here, and let's call it, yes man, this is great. Wait, what? So now we want the P and H1 to have the same font. So, but what is the font name? So to get the font family, so font name is basically font family. We are saying that P and H have to use overpass and sans serif. Okay, let's see how they look on the front page. See how good they look. Like they definitely look bad when they are inside this, but that's how it is, right? So they are looking fine, but let's make their color white. But we'll be able to see yes. But I think black was looking fine. Let's go with some color which is not black and which is not white. This looks good. Okay, this is looking good, very good. Okay. Now we have added fonts, but what if we want a different font weight for specific things? Let's say H1, you want the font weight to be 900. You can see that when you are getting the link, it has 400, 900, and 100. So those are the font weights that we have. Now, first thing we have to save this. Just go back here. You can see this one is so large. You can see that it has a font weight of 900, and this has a font weight of, it doesn't have a font weight, that is a default font weight. Let's go ahead and also let's make the P to take a font weight of 100. So I think that's 100. Let's make it. I don't know if it's changing or not, but it's fine. I think you get the idea here, right? We were able to add. So this is how you import or you get Google Fonts to your website. Either you use the link or you use the at reference like this at import reference. You can do anything. And there are subtle differences in how both actually gets this. So we have covered the Google Fonts thing first. Then we are going to look at this. Okay, this looks. And also, I think I should cover the box model in the very beginning. That's what I should do. The box model should start immediately after we complete HTML. Okay, that's one thing that I've learned from here. Cover the box model before anything in CSS. So when we are talking about typography, so I classified like I was just working on this presentation and I just got this idea to learn things a little bit different. But so when we're talking about font or typography, there are three important things which are called font and text. So in the top, you can see they are called font family, they're called font styles. They are called font styles, font size, and font. Everything starts with font, but there is one thing which starts with color. That's the only thing. There are two other alien products which are called line height and letter spacing. If you just forget them or ignore them, which are placed here, there are three more things which are covered under text, which are called text align, text decoration, and text transformation. So always remember there are five things when we're talking about typography. One is font, font weight, font family, font style, font size. Everything is under font. Text has text align, text transform, and text transformation, text decoration and text transformation. The other two things are line height and line spacing. What we will do is we will cover like every one of them very quickly, or let's do one better. Let's do that in Oxygen Builder. Let's add a new page. in this page, we'll work on the what do you want me to work on? Typography. Now let's edit this. Do we have a main? We have no template in this. Okay. Now what we want is some text. Let's add text here. Let's get lorem ipsum. What we will do, we'll just put this in section. So it looks a little bit better, that's it. There are some padding here and there. So it looks not bad, but now let's look at one thing after the other. So in this, you can see this is the font family. So font family is Poppins. You can select anything from Google Fonts here. So this is Poppins. Now there is font size. The font size, you can change anything from 1, or you can, there is even a font is called 0. Just letting you know. So sometimes if I have to hide a text, I just put it, I font it as 0 and it gets vanishes away. Okay. Also 15, also 16, also 18, or 17, or anything. There are so many things. So this is font size, and this is color. You can select any color, or you just can type a hex code. Then the 2 hex codes that I remember, like 3 ones that I remember is FFF, which is white, and 00000, which is black, and F4, 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 which is 3. You normally use it for the background. So you understood color, right? Now font weight, like from 100 to 900, you can select any of the font weights. Let's go with 300. Like 400 is like where things start getting heavy. That's why I tend to use 300, which looks a little bit different. Now let's go to typography, and here is everything that we need. So it's the font family which we saw. It's font size, color, font weight, and this is text align. You can see what's happening here. So this is text align left, this is text align center, this is text align right, and this is text align justify. So line height is how far each line can be from the other line. So this is 12, so each line is like too wide. 1.1 or 1.2 is where you want to go normally. 1.5, maybe 1.6. Letter spacing, let's add letter spacing of 1. The default, I don't remember how much it is, but you can try multiple things here. So 1 is how wide it is, or 0.9. So again, text decoration, there is none, which has no text decoration at all. This is underline. Then this is called overline or what? I don't. Let's see. Reverse of text underline. If you don't find something like this, just understand we are doing text decoration. Easiest way to find it, what it is, text decoration, CSS, and always type MDN. MDN stands for Mozilla Developer Network, and it's the only resource that I highly recommend you to test every time. So this is underline dotted, this is underline dotted, right? So you get everything here. I think it is called overline. So it is, yes, it is called overline, and you can have colors here. See that it's so easy. If we just have that, then everything is so easy. This is like font style. It is either italic or normal. If you want it to be bold, just select that stuff and just click on bold at the top. So they become a little bit bold. So that's what I think. So typography, you can see there is text transformation, which is none, which stays as it is, and capitalize the normal first letter in every word will be capitalized. Uppercase, every word will be uppercase, and every word will be lowercase. It's initial anti-alias. Look, these are like when every font is rendered differently on different browsers. So that's when you use font smooth. So this is the typography things that you needed to learn to get started with Oxygen Builder. So we have covered typography, we have covered Google Fonts, we have covered font properties. Now let's get into this stuff. Positioning, set index, overflow, clear, display. But did I prepare for everything? Let's see. Let's go to a good old PowerPoint presentation. So this is it here, like it's so alone and so sad. We don't need this, we don't need this. What are we looking at? We completed this. Okay, we are at position now. Are we at position? So yes, we are at position. Okay, guys, let me take one quick break. It's been so it's been an already long session. It's already 1.5 hours. So I will just take a quick break and come back. Let me put it like what do I want? The banner has to say break. 15 minutes of break. Not at 8:45. Let me edit this. Okay, I will mute my microphone and I will go for 15 minutes and I will come back at 8:15. Thank you. We are back, we are back, we are back. Let me get rid of this banner. We don't need that anymore. Where are we? Welcome back, guys. I'm back and back. So don't worry if you're thinking the session is going to last long, because it is going to last long. We have 45 minutes more to go before the session ends. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Without any further ado, let's make the most of time that we have for today. So we are going to talk about. Hi Santosh, welcome back. So position has these 5 properties with it. So when we are trying to position, we can position by using all of these elements. So you can start, you can position, like if you don't do anything, that element is positioned as static. So by default, every element we do is static. That means there you can not apply any top, bottom. So other one is relative, other one absolute, the one is fixed, the last one is sticky. And for all of these except for static, hi Mohammed, hi brother. You're a bit late today, but it's completely fine. We are talking about positioning in CSS. So I was saying that we have all these 5 things that we can position, and at the same time we can use top, bottom, left, and right with every 4 of them, but we cannot use that with static because static won't make a difference. And by default, every element is positioned as static. Now we will look at what every other thing is one after the other. So static is a default option, nothing applies to it. Let me get rid of this banner. Okay, we're good. Voice is not synchronized with the video. Really? Can you check that once again? Can you confirm it again that the voice is not synchronized with the video? It's really interesting. Like yesterday, we had a mic turning off automatically. Now we have audio and video which are not in sync with each other. Maybe it's good now. I hope it is good now. Okay, let me get back. We're at slide 103. Yes, that's true. We're at slide 103. So many slides. Okay. So relative, when you use a position which is called relative, it stays in the position and moves according to top, bottom, left, and right. Let's do this. Let's not just take my word for this, but let's do this. You know what? We have created this stuff already. Let me go ahead. Good, good, good. Good to know that the audio and video are in the sync. Thanks a lot, Mohammed, and thanks a lot, Santosh, for confirming it. So this is our page. Okay, we don't. What we will do instead of live previewing it, we will just open it in our browser as a normal page. So this is the page that we have right now. These are not in the same thing. Okay, what I will do, I will quickly make them align in the same page, but I will tell you about that in a little while. Just trying to style. I don't remember how to style them with just a single command. So I think I forgot some things. This has to go a little bit there. Just styling it because it becomes easier for you to follow with me. This row is fine. This P has to go in, this H has to go in, and this has to go one more tab inside. Now we are good to go. Okay, so we have this. Also, let's copy the same thing again. Now we have three divs here. It's adding some classes, but we will cover this very in a little bit. Do we want that in column or do we want that in row? That's good. Solid. One second. What do we want? We want that to be space around. This looks good. Like we have, so we use flex, but I think flex we haven't yet covered it. So that's why I'm not talking about flex or anything. So you can see that, okay, you know what? Okay, I also haven't covered margin and bottom, so margin and padding. So I cannot even talk about that. But let's talk about something else. We were discussing about static. As I said, everything is static by default. Let me go there and quickly add something more. Okay, this will do for time being. You just imagine that these are three elements which are lying on top, lying near one another. So this is one, this is one, this is two, and this is three. What we will do, we will try to understand what these, like how position works by using them one after the another. Let's just close. So this is Dabba model, and let's call this third box. Now what we will do is we will position. I can just inline things. Yes, I can just inline things. There is no point in adding styles for everything. That's sweet. First thing for box model, we're going to use position. Is it relative or what is it? What it is? So it is relative. Stays in the position and moves according to top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, let's look how it works. Let's say its top is 0 pixels, which is default, and top, and let's just say top. We are only adding top here. Let's just save. What should happen is you shouldn't see anything changing here. Yes, it has changed nothing. Now for dot dabba place, dabba model, which is our second box, let's have something like position. Here we are going to give it absolute, and it is going to be using the same. So let's add styles for third one to third model, or is it third box? What was it? It was third box. Let's just rename it third model, so everything is following the same structure, same naming convention. So it is TIHRD third model, but we are going to use position. This is not absolute. We are going to use the other one. We have used relative, we have used absolute. The other thing which was remaining is fixed. Position is fixed. And it is top 0 pixels. Now let's go here and just reload and see what's happening. Okay, this is what's happening. So this is so messed up. Then let's go ahead and check one after the other. Let's delete the styling for third. Let's reload this. Did we miss something else? I think we did miss something else. Div is it's doing fine. We're not able to see. Okay. Thing is, there are no styles for the third element. That's the problem. So we want this. Let me tell you what's happening. So this one has styles because it is getting its styles from box model. This is getting its styles from Dabba model. Then we renamed it, but this does not have any styling to it. So we have to go to the third div, which is this. This says third model, but there is no styling for third model. So what we will do is we will go to Dabba model and box model, both have the same styles. Also, we want that to have for third model. It is also a CSS class, that's why it will have dot before that. Now let's reload that. You see that there is no change for the first element or the second element, or there is some change. Let's see. We have changed. Padding shouldn't be 40, it should be 4, just 4. Now we can clearly see what's happening here. Okay, this is a very bad way of showing you what's happening. We won't do anything. We will just take care of one thing at a time. Now you can see everything is the same because the top px is still the top. Like we are using position relative, which means it stays in the same, but it moves in accordance with it. So the top is we are shifting it by 0 pixels, which is nothing. So if we just move it by 10 pixels or maybe even 100 pixels, we have to look at box model, which is the first thing here. Now you can see the top from the top of that container or wherever it was initially, from that it is going like 100 pixels down. And let's also make something. It's not just top. We can also make additions, like we can also configure the left too. Now if we just do that and see, like it's moving to the right side because we're increasing this left side. That's why it's moving towards the right side. If we just make it 400, I think you can expect what's going to happen there. So this is what is going to happen. But remember, it is still in reference to the same, its actual position. So this element's reference is still with the actual position. That's what relative means. Relative means all the positioning that you are applying to the top and the left is relative to its original position or its original document position. Understand? So that's why it is still in reference to this top. So when I say left 0, it won't go to the edge of the screen, but it will go to its own location. It was still there before. It's also still there. It's not going to the left side because its position was right here. It's still there. It's just moving top. It's just moving from top 100 or 200 is coming down. That's it. But if we look at relative after we complete relative, there is one thing which is called absolute. Absolute does not stay in its position and moves according to the top, bottom, and left and right. So relative will stay in its position, but will use top, bottom, and left, right to move accordingly. But absolute moves out of this. That means it is relative to the entire page. So when we say you have to be absolute, we are telling that you have to be absolute in accordance with the entire page. So let's assume what will happen. So top is absolute, the position is absolute. The top will be 0 pixels, the left will be 0 pixels. So then it will just move to the top position. So this was our element, the first element, but it is now moving to the top 0 pixels from the top, and left it will be 0 pixels. Now to move it, what we can do is, instead of using bottom, we can say go bottom. Instead of left, we can say go right, and it will stick to the bottom corner like this. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening here. It will stay relevant to the entire document, but not to its original position. That's the difference. Now, if it has mode, then these two elements are taking up the remaining place. So that's not like important right now. This is what is important right now. This is how absolute works. Absolute positioning in terms of the entire document, but not its own place. So that's absolute. So let's go to the next thing, which is the completed absolute. Now we have to look at fixed. Moves out of the position and it stays related to the viewport. So absolute is in reference to the document, but not the viewport. But fixed is relevant to the entire viewport. So whenever, if this page moves, so this will also, it will always stay there. Let's keep this absolute, and what we will do is we will add some content to this. Let's add some h1, let's add some h2, and let's add some lorem ipsum. Now let's break this lorem ipsum by adding a break. Let's add another lorem ipsum. So it is just some junk text to fill this space. Now what we are doing is we are trying to add some length to the page, so we can see the difference between fixed and absolute, because they are so close and yet so far. You understand that, right? It is relevant to this document. It's there, but it will keep moving when its place is done. And the problem, so this is absolute, but when we make this fixed, and we are saying it is fixed, that you have to be always at 0 pixels and bottom 0 pixels and right 0 pixels. So what it will do is it will stay there no matter whether it's scrolling, it's not scrolling or not. It will always be there. But in absolute, once its content is done, it will not stay there because it does not depend on the viewport, but it depends on the document. So when this content was displaying, whatever the position of 0 pixels was there, it will stay there and it will just go over like it's done. Like it will keep on moving there. That's why its initial position, its position does not depend upon the viewport. Again, I'm just repeating it to make it clear. Absolute, the other thing we have is fixed. So fixed is always like, dude, I will be there. No matter what happens, I will be always at the bottom to the right 0 pixels for both. And if you scroll there, it will still stay there. Understand? So it will always be there. It will not move in accordance with anything. So one more thing we have here is sticky. So instead of making the box model sticky, let's call it like, it will be like 500 pixels here, 500 pixels from here. So the box model will be sticky. You can see what will happen. Let's reload this. Okay, this was the same thing yesterday, what happened before we were talking. So if it is display flex, it is row, the sticky won't work, but there was a workaround for that, which was, this is flexbox and this is model. It shouldn't be, 1 second, just give me 1 second, let me just quickly get it. Flexbox and sticky. My position isn't sticky when using Flexbox. Align items, it has to be. What if we just don't use Flexbox here just for the sake of not using it for once? What is the square brackets there? Display inline. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Give me a couple of minutes to gather my thoughts. Okay, maybe some other time. I don't want to take that much time. Maybe let me show you sticky with another example here. We have very many other pages that we have built over the time. Bootcamp, about us, HTML structure. I think this is the page. Yes. Okay, this is the page that we have designed. Let me open this page in the front page, copy the path. Let me open it in a new tab. So we have created this. It's sticking there. Let me show you it again. How did we do that? Style.css. I think where is style.css? So we did this. Now let's get rid of style.css. Okay, let's not get rid of that. We can see this, right? What will I do is I will make it sticky after like 10 pixels. So position is sticky. This says nav. Let's go to the HTML and see what nav elements do we have. In nav you can see. Okay, don't. Please don't do that. So this is nav. So in nav you can see that there is one UI unordered list, and in that you have three li elements, which we have displayed inline. Now we are saying, not this. Now we are saying it to stick to that position, or let's do one more thing better. Instead of, where is the website? So instead of let's making this heading here, which is already at kind of top. Let's put that header somewhere around here after span inside and see how it looks when there is more content to it. Let's get rid of nav from here. Let's paste that here. Let's see how it looks. You can see this, right? So even though the element is not at the top, maybe use with block display block. Maybe like I will try it. So you can see, like, even though the element is not at the top, when you scroll it, whenever the position is at top 10 pixels, like this is 10 pixels, it will stick there. That's what's happening here. Let us try one thing which our friend suggested. So I forgot which HTML page that we were using. I think it was called position, right? Come on. Sibling selectors, not this. HTML structure, not that. About us bootcamp by child combinator. Okay, we were working with false classes. Instead of display flex, we can call it display block, and it should work. Copy path. Still the same, but it's fine. And the point is we have to understand how sticky works. You can see that there is a small gap of 10 pixels, so we can just go to the CSS and increase that and see it. Like whenever it's going to stick after 100 pixels from the top, we can also make some, like that's how sticky works. Let's move over to the next topic. We have sticky. Like sticky is a boy on his own. That's what I wanted to tell you. Like overflow, this is very important when we have so much of content in this in a small gap. After we complete overflow, we will go to box model, and after that we will get into flexbox. Where are we? We are at overflow. Let me show this with a small example that we built. Let me log in. I hope I'm just already logged in. So this is the page. Let me get to the page. We are looking for free page here. Free training on web development. What did I do? I messed this page so badly. Okay. This was not supposed to be that bad, but it's fine. We are not using this page anymore. So this is what I was talking about. You can see that there is definitely an overflow here. Like elements are overflowing. Now we will see this and understand how we manage to put everything in a single place. First, let's select the right element. So this is where it is. This is one element. Now I would have applied classes to this. Let's look at overflow for this element. Okay, let me look at in the bigger window and then let me get back to you. No. 1 second. Okay. What I did was I added classes to the CSS file, so that won't happen that way. So instead of this, we have to do it somewhere else, some other way, some other different way. Let's look at how we can do that here. We have our false classes. So keyword flex. Okay. Now what we will do is we have 3 HTML classes already here. We have 3 HTML classes already here. I will just try to copy more and see. Let's see what will happen if we just copy more. This is the div containing div. More elements. Don't we have a very specific pixels and it's not working? Come on. Where do we think I can show you? Okay, I learned stuff from MDN. Just let me show you how MDN overflow. So when it means overflow, like this is the property and this is the value that we use. Let's just not see any of other stuff. Just focus on this one element. When we say overflow is visible, you can see that the overflow beneath it, right? So when we say overflow is hidden, whatever the content that is after that will be hidden. And when we say scroll, you will be able to scroll with the content. So that is possible. And when we say auto, it is how the browser takes the overflow content. By default, they will have scroll bars for everything. I remember that we created this for one website that we were working on. Right? Remember that we were working on the hackathon website. So we had the same issue that then we use this. So there are other things. So overflow is visible. You can just change hidden. Then you can see it's whatever the content is overflowing, it is hidden. And you can either overflow in either X direction. You can say it is scroll, and in overflow Y, you can say it is scroll to. So this whatever the text that is. Now if we just get rid of that, it says overflow on the X has to be hidden. It has to be scroll. Like X is this. We don't have any overflow here. So no overflow, no scroll bar here. But when we are saying it is on Y direction, which is like this, Y axis, we can see that there is a scroll bar there. The same way it is hidden and the same way it is scroll, so on and so forth. So this is, I forgot, like I thought it would be very easy to come up with stuff, but it's taking some time. This is so bad. Okay, where are we now? We are at, so we covered overflow. Now we are at box model. So this is the most important thing I wanted to cover. So I got this image from MDN. Like most of the resources, like most of the material that I have prepared, except for some examples that I'm working on, everything is mostly from MDN. Because MDN is the best resource on internet, that's why I'm also referring to it. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes. Welcome back. Sorry for I just wanted to take a little break there. That's it. Let's get back to it. So box model is one of the most fundamental aspects of when we are learning CSS, when we are learning anything. Let's just start with a new file here. It's already too messy. Let's call it box model. Okay. It's .html it was. I was not thinking straight. So we have box model.html. Now let's just remove this. Okay. Sorry. Now we have to learn box model here. Let's quickly define class called box model. Let's make it height and width in a square. Let's also add a background color. Now let's create a container which is called box container. Let's make it We're good to go. We created some things. Now let's create one div, and the CSS class for that div is a box container. Okay, let's inside that div, let's create another div which has a class of box model. So in that, let's add some other content. Let's add a h1 heading. Let's add one image. Let's get an image from somewhere. We cannot get an image from somewhere because it has to be under 100 pixels. Wait. Image. There are some services which do like with this is what we want. It comes around 200 by 300. That's what we want. So we want that to be under, say we just want it to be 50 under 50. We added a box. We added a div. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. That should be fine. Okay, it was fine, but heading is taking too long. I think having 100 is a very bad idea. So you can see that there are two things here. One is the box model and other is the box container. So the box container is holding the box here, and the box has a background color of gray, and it is 400 pixels by 400 pixels wide. So there is no separation in between both the elements here, right? Okay, let's add one more thing here. Let's add a heading. This is what we have. So you can see that this is the container and this is, let's just add, this is box. This is the box and this is container. That's what we have here. So let me tell you what margin and what padding is. First, let's cover what padding is. So inside box model, let me add a padding which is like 100 pixels. So when we add padding to something, to an element, the padding is within the element. But when we add, instead of padding, if we just add margin to it, the element stays the same, but the margin increases. Understand? Let me do it. Let's just get rid of this. Just remember how the element is. Now let me duplicate this. Now what I will do is I will add margin to this. Margin is, let's call it 200 pixels. We reload this. You can see that it has like margin is from other places. Like the element, the content of the actual our element is remaining the same. You can see here, the size is literally the same, but whatever the distance it had from the top, from the right, from the left, it has changed. So margin is between one element and other element, whereas padding is within the element. So this model, which did not have any padding, you can see that from the top, this is a box, which is a heading, did not have any distance. But when you see this, there is some clear distance from the top, from the left, and from all the directions. So that is padding. If we see one more other important thing is, so this is other important thing which is called border. So when you add border, nothing, I think there are some things which are way too much. Let's call this also one. Let's make this that. I just want everything to be seen on the same screen. But adding everywhere, that's too much, I think. Let me just open this in the new tab. And let's just remove the border. Oh, shit. So when you are adding padding, the actual content is not changing, but when you are increasing the padding or creating a padding completely new, you can see that there is you can see the bottom extends. See that in the same way every other element changes. So these are the three important things which define the size of any element. So by default, the width is full screen. So any element that we add anywhere has do exist from one side to the other side. Like let's just copy this image that we have here, and let's paste that after closing it. And if we reload this, and if we just try to inspect this element, let's go full screen. Where is the inspect element? Okay, this is where it is. It was on the top. If we just view this content, okay, go away. I don't know why, but okay. So this is the width of this image. The width of image is the image itself. Yes, but if you see any other element, let's add one p here. This is it. Let's select that and see how wide it is. So these things image have a fixed resolution of 100 by 100. So that's why it is 100 by 100. But if you see other elements, they span from one end to the other end. We can control how they take place and how they are aligned with other elements or with themselves. We use all these three properties together to define that. So by using margin, padding, and border, all those three together are called the box model. It is very important to understand when to use margin and when to use padding. Easiest thing to remember is you pad yourself. So when you want some help from others, or when you want to feel confident, remember that you pad yourself. So padding is just adding things within yourself, and margin is when you want to distance or when you want a separation between other elements or the next element and you. Border is, you understand what border is. Now, do you want me to continue or okay, we are short on time. Maybe tomorrow we will dedicate the entire day in learning Flexbox, and we learn Flexbox from flexboxfroggy.com. So this is the website where we learn Flexbox. I have completed this, but I just let it be because I think I completed this on my old laptop, and this is my new laptop. That's why it shows I haven't completed it yet, but I went to 24 just to see if I can complete it or not, but I did complete it. So this is the easiest way to learn Flexbox, and we will learn Flexbox tomorrow. For today, I'm ending this session. So stay tuned. Tomorrow we will start with Flexbox, and by tomorrow we will end CSS completely. And after that, we will jump on to building websites with Oxygen again. Thanks all. If you have any comments about the session, please let me know. You all can reach at my email, or if you're already friends on Facebook, drop a message to me on Facebook. That will be very helpful. What else? If you have any ideas about what should we build for Oxygen, not anything, nothing too much fancy, but simple stuff. If you want me to cover anything in particular, please do let me know. I will try to cover that, or we will try to build that. Okay, I think that is it for today. Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, Mohammed. Please come back. I will look at. I have to, like, I thought I covered that Flexbox and sticky thing, but I think I have to still look more. I saw that you commented false classes. I saw that again. I saw that I was making the changes in the wrong HTML file, but I think it was the right HTML file. But again, let's look at how the Flexbox thing works with the sticky. It definitely works, but there are some classes which it does not work with. Okay, again, for everyone who has joined the session, thanks a lot. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot again. Thanks. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day. I'm going. Have a great day. Sayonara. Let me put the tradition of adding that 30 seconds countdown timer here. Bye guys. Take care. Have a great day.